Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What do y'all think of this hair? I love it. I mean, I think it's great. It's very stylish. You guys can watch me right now. Just try to put it together and do something with it. I think I'm over it. I think I've gone as far as I wanted to go with it. I just need to find somebody to actually cut it now. That is not why you were brought here today. You were brought here today for one reason and one reason only to talk everything that we can about one Ellie De La Cruz, because apparently he is like a brand new music video on repeat on MTV in 1999 when the lyrics went, I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please. I don't know when that song came out. Now I have to look it up just to see. Let's go to the old Google and see Slim Shady song. When was that? Released 2000. I mean, come on. Can we give me a little something, something here? I mean, that was pretty good, right? Right. But that's not why we were brought here either. We were brought here to talk about week 10 in our league and the week that was, because I got to say, this was, and I could be wrong, but it feels like it was the most active week in the chat, mainly among 5, 6 teams, but I don't know. I feel like we're getting a lot of activity from, our usual guys, Shane, Josh, Walker, but we're also getting Brian in the mix, getting a little bit of, getting some Jason, getting some. So, I'd say this is about 60% of the league. We still need to get, I'm sorry. I just realized I called out Fernando and Patrick last week. Nick, you're our league leader. Wait, this feels like the same exact cup.
I added ice and more creamer. So it feels like the same exact cup, but it's not.
You split it up?
Yeah.
How
You're
did
welcome.
Thank you? Oh, much better. A little sweet, but much better. Thank you. This podcast is brought to you by Panera Iced Coffee. Get your Panera on today. Anyways, moving on. Man, this hair. I had a hat on, but I don't know where I put it. Anyways, what were we talking about? League participation in the chat, and I am up to, I believe, 53 whoppers, and this is, yep, 53 moves. The ones closest to that number is Jason at 34, Mandalorians at 32, Rally Monkeys and Jason both are tied at 34. Welcome, guys. And Fernando and Shane are at 30. But don't worry, you guys will be just fine with your 26 and 30 moves still remaining. I'm coming for them in trades. Anyways, let's talk about week 10 and then the importance of what week 11 means and what it is. All right, so we are 10 weeks through this bad boy, and I believe we're fixing to start um like in just a few minutes. Week 11. Is that true? This is really good television, by the way. No, not until about, doesn't appear that we're not starting. Like the first game doesn't go on until what, 6:40? That's the Braves game. Yeah, not a full slate of games. Detroit Tigers versus the Atlanta Braves. Moving on. Okay, so again, this week was very interesting. We had 3 matchups of the week because the top 6 teams were all facing off against one another, and one got taken out, and it's getting kind of hectic. Guys that are in We're chasing. We are chasing one Nick Gicoletto because he's putting up some numbers. Anyways, moving on. Last week, we had three matchups of the week, so that means we had three matchups that were not matchups of the week, and they went like this: Mandalorians faced off against Bucketheads, and Bucketheads. Let's call it what it is. It's just going to be a Sunday decider moving forward. Sunday is going to be the deciding factor for most of these matchups as to whether or not you win, lose, or draw. Mandalorians and Bucketheads, it was a mixed bag for the batting order, but Bucketheads took every pitching category with a nice little 2.03 ERA. Check that out. Only won by 4 strikeouts. But yeah, batting again, pretty close in the runs, home runs, RBIs. Mandalorians won by 7, not in the average, and kind of close in the OBP. But yeah, but a nice little balance for Bucketheads from Jay Turner to Ozzy Albies and Harold Ramirez getting some stats all across the board, while Mandalorians had Stephen Kwan and Luis Arias getting some offense. Ronald Acuna did Ronald Acuna things, and Orlando Arcia. Oh, okay, there he is. Gunnar Henderson. He was his big offensive guy. Yeah. Did anybody see that video? Shane circulated it, but I had already seen it. But the video of the Yankees broadcast guy. The Yankees win. Take a foul ball off the face. Oh, that was awesome. Might want to get some netting or something there, guy. Okay. But that matchup projectiled or put Bucketheads in 10th place. He's celebrating not being last place, and Mandalorians is sitting 12th. Moving on to the other matchup that was not a matchup of the week, Fernando versus Rayford Peaches. This matchup projectiled Mr. Fernando back in the top 6, 8-4 for this matchup. Pretty close numbers, though, in the home runs, not in the runs, not in average, not really in OBP. She walked out of there with stolen bases, an ERA of 3.42, a whip of .94, 5 quality starts. She lost by 1 in the win and 1 in the save plus holds. Some notable offensive people. Look at JD Martinez. He's been on fire here as of late. Jorge Soler put up some numbers for her. But Shohei Ohtani, Nolan Jones, new acquisition for old Fernando. For everything that's been said about Fernando, the one thing that's not been said about him is he does actually make some pretty good adjustments to his roster. Kind of reminds me of a me adding the hot hand at the time. But hey, it works out. It's carrying him. Look at Jonathan India. He's been very quiet. That's been a very that's been a quiet name that nobody has really mentioned, and he's ranked 18th. He's got a 275 batting average, 7 home runs, 32 RBIs, 12 stolen bases, and that's Cincinnati Reds team. Man, do they have some talent on their roster. I tell you what. Some nice pitching numbers from Kyle Gibson and JP Sears. Again, just a bunch of like names. And then she got a quality start from Griffin Canning, Mitch Keller, Tyler Wells. Moving on. And the last matchup that was not a matchup of the week, but his name is looking like if he can pull it out of his ass one more time, Eric Croft versus Jason, 6-4 in this one. Jason, how the mighty have fallen. Tied in home runs, so this was a close matchup. Very close in wins. Not in strikeouts, very close in ERA. Woo, look at that whip, how close it was. Eric, how'd you pull that one off? Tied in the save plus holds. Man, this was a close matchup between you two gentlemen, and you got nice offensive numbers from everybody. It was one of those weeks where if you benched the wrong guy, it probably came back to bite you in the butt. I don't know who exactly, if that actually happened, but yes, indeedy. Francisco Lindor put up some good numbers for Eric. That's about all I'm looking at. Eloy Jimenez should never be drafted. I'm just going to say that. He should never be drafted. Randy Arozarena. Let me get him. Come on, Jason. Hit me up. Let me get Bo Bichette. I like him. Let's get him. No? Okay. Understood. Moving on. Pitching. Shane McClanahan. Just he's a beast. Look at Snell. Snell had a good week and then he goes day to day. Sucks. I loved watching Max Scherzer get jacked around. Oh, so nice. And then, look at Gosman, had a nice little blow up against the Minnesota Twins, a team that strikes out at an extremely high rate. Ah, should have traded him to me, Eric. You wouldn't have been bitching, but no, no, no. Keep him. No, it's fine. It's fine. Now let's get into the other three matchups, the matchups of the week. Let's start with the one that was the closest. Josh and I. Josh, I got to tell you, okay, here we go. I know you're all pissed off at me, like, streaming son of a bitch. You know, whatever, man. I'm sorry. Okay. Yes, it was streaming, but also I had an available spot. I mean, did I lose a pitcher in a 2-for-1 trade? Yeah, I did. So, and he ended up getting a win. Had I pitched Mitch Keller, had I kept him on my team, I would have beat you in that category. But I didn't. And I would have got a quality start. But I didn't. So you're welcome. You're welcome for giving you the stat of quality starts instead of tying with you. And you're welcome for me not taking wins. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Don't thank me because you're welcome. Moving on, though, I took every single batting category. Not, I didn't take that average, but my goodness, was I on pins and needles on Sunday. Good old Sunday. And I was watching with great relish. I cannot believe they, number one, let Brian Bayo back out in the seventh. And then the seventh inning went the way that it did. And then the eighth inning had even more drama with the fact that runners were coming in. There was a runner on third, 2 outs. Alex Verdugo. I wasn't watching this game. It was on my phone. I had it on my phone. I was just refreshing, just watching the stats, and I knew Alex Verdugo was going to ground out and not send the runner that's 90 feet away across the board. Therefore, because obviously there's a lot that goes into the rest of the game. The relief pitchers got to do their job. But did they end up getting the win? Like, did Boston win that game against the Yankees? They did 3-2, the very same score that had Verdugo push that run across. Brian Bayo would have got that win. He had not gotten a win. He has not gotten a win since May 17th. That is a long time. Well, yeah, it's almost a month. But had he gotten that pushed across, and I was even looking, I was talking to Ray, I was like, the dude doesn't really go 7 innings. I can't believe they're going to let him out. He had like, I want to say like 85, 90 pitches, something like that, when he came back out in the seventh and he got the outs. He didn't get a lot of strikeouts. He's not a strikeout guy, but his whip is real high. But anyways, yeah, 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 lovely. And then, of course, Louis Varlin, who I was trying to bank on, had a bad little blow up there. But I mean, come on, man. He was pitching against very good. He was cruising along a little bit, but he was at Toronto. And then Carlos Correa fucked up, had bad defense. It would have been a double play, would have got him out of the inning. Probably would have came back out. But no, yeah, that one thing he could have logged a quality start. had it not been for Carlos Correa and his defense. But no, we can't look at it like that because the runners that were already on were not a result of that stupid ass defensive play that Carlos Correa, the overpaid piece of shit. Whatever. Fuck that guy. Moving on. I believe in Louis. I believe in you, Louis. You feel the love? I believe in you. Anyways, this was a fun matchup, Josh. Congratulations on your win. You took all but one of the batting or excuse me, pitching categories that I was chasing, and you took the one average, and I took the rest of the batting stats. So it was, in my opinion, a fairly balanced matchup. And yes, had I not made trades, I might have beat you. But there we go. Freddie Freeman did Freddie Freeman things, but man, was I super excited to watch Tyro Estrada. It was so funny. I was going to grab stuff to make dinner. As I'm walking into the store, Estrada hits a home run. I'm like, all right, let's go. As I'm coming home, not 25, 30 minutes later, I'm turning on to into my driveway and I see he hit another home run. I'm like, let's go. Yes, and I was very thankful that, Ty France just could not stop hitting yesterday, but it was only like singles or doubles, but still, fuck that guy. Ugh. That whole watching the Seattle Mariners matchup stuff, I think because they were playing like, yeah, the Angels, and you got Brandon Drury, and I had Mike Trout. Mike Trout wasn't doing shit. And then, of course, Mike Trout comes up. I benched his ass yesterday. I said, enough of you, sir. You've not been contributing this week. Yes, you hit a home run. Yes, you drove in three, but 118 batting average? No, sir. Have a seat. Benched him, and I'm watching the bases loaded, Mike Trout, and he cranks one into right field. And then bloop, the dude catches it. So he drives in the one run. But yeah, anyways, moving on. Moving on. Here we go. Moving on. Um, yeah. And that was that one. And then let's get to the other matchup, the one that had the second largest margin of defeat or victory, however you want to look at it. One Christopher Walker against one Shane Pokenis. This one was, again, a Sunday fun day. Tied in the RBIs, separated by just fractions in the average. One stolen base, one run. Again, another matchup where the batting stats, oh my goodness. If you bench somebody that hit a home run, you're kicking yourself in the ass. If you bench somebody that got a couple of hits, you're kicking yourself in the ass. I did not research you guys as benched players. We haven't done the oops in a while. I really need to go back and start putting in the work for the oops. I miss the oops, and I hope that you guys do too. Oops. I oopsed by that. Yes. Split down the middle, the pitching categories, and Trippin' Billy's took away the home runs 12-8, getting home runs from Luis Roberts, the three shot from uh, Jose Ramirez definitely secured the victory there. But look at this. Here's who everybody came here to talk about, the rookie sensation, Ellie De La Cruz. We are De La Cruzing into week 11, and this guy is the hot topic. And look at Trey Turner. Turner putting up numbers that Jason wished that he had done for him. My goodness, check it out. Is he back? Is he? Revenge game in Dodgerville, going 2 for 4 with a run, driven in, 1 for 4, and then 3 for 5 yesterday with 3 runs and a stolen base. They always say they shine the brightest when they're playing their former teams. Yep, yep. But yeah, one riding a high walker versus somebody just raising an eyebrow like, where did it all go wrong? And then, Shane Bieber steps up. Freddie Peralta lets you down. Zach Gallen lets you down. Again, I threw out the stat. He's got a 4+ ERA on road games. I want to keep that in the back of your pocket. Aaron Nola not looking good. Taj Bradley didn't look good. Yeah, there you go. Looks good. 7-4 was that final matchup. Yeah. Moving on to the very last one. Hitman, you were sixth last week. After this victory, you plummeted to eighth place. Why? Because again, Nick, he is just separating himself from the pack 10-1. Looking across the board, nothing was really even close except for the average. OBP was kind of there, but he blew us away. This week, he had the fastest team, probably because of one Corbin Carroll. I had an opportunity at him earlier in the season. I just want to point that out. And I denied that request. He is ranked third in the league. He has got some fucking names, people. Mookie Betts, Kyle Tucker, Corbin Carroll. Ugh, Jose Altuve. And then he loses Jordan Alvarez. We all knew that that was a risk. What's he on the. When his return is still up in the air. Where did he leave for? Oblique. Ugh, you hate to see it. He's been a name we haven't really mentioned. Him, Kyle Tucker. Then over on the other corner, Corey Seager is doing good things. Taylor Ward put up some numbers. Look at this young guy. Nolan Arenado, not really getting a lot of production out of that first baseman. I think he just came back. Oh, look at old Braxton Garrett. I'm just going to go ahead and say that if I drop him, Nick's going to come in and grab him because I see he just grabbed Royce Lewis, but I dropped Braxton Garrett, picked him up. Maybe not just me, though, because he went and grabbed up Bryce Miller. No, yeah. Bryce Miller? Yeah. Yeah, he grabbed Bryce Miller. I don't know. The pitching looks slightly suspect on Nick's roster. I mean, he's getting it done, but it does look a little suspect. I mean, he almost had a 4 ERA. But hey, winning's winning. Vin Diesel. 10-1 is your final score. The Hitman walked out of there with 10 home runs to Nick's 8. But other than that, yeah, that is all you get, sir. So again, the Hitman, not out of it, but Patrick fell a little bit and fell hard. Those are your matchups from week 10. Hope you enjoyed that recap. Let's talk about week 11. Why is week 11 so important? Can anybody answer that out there? Anybody? Does anybody want to answer? Okay, I'll answer it. Yeah, thanks. All right. I was looking in the chat to see if anybody was going to answer, and nobody did answer. So I'm going to go ahead and do it for y'all. So week 11 is important because this is the very last week that we will face new competition. After that, we go into week 12. We will be restarting all over and playing teams that we've already played before. This is it. We're a 12-team league, 11 matchups. That means week 11, last brand new slate. So, sorry, I got to clean this screen a little bit. It's a little dirty. So, this is it. We will be halfway there after this week is concluded. Halfway. So let's get into it. Choking D's nuts, Shane's bitch, also known as Shane and Scott's bitch or the Pokenesis bitch, will be facing off against another family member of the Pokenesis, Bucketheads, and Brian. Trippin' Billies will face off against Bench Warmers. Drop It Like It's Fought will be facing off against Swing and Low. The Hitman will be facing off against Rally Monkeys. Mandalorians will face off against Rayford Peaches. And Jason will be facing off against Fernando in McCollin 25. So you heard him. There's two matchups that are between. Well, no, wait. There's only one. Haha. Shane versus Benchwarmers, our very exclusive matchup of the week. However, I must insist that we watch with great intensity Nick versus Eric. This is the one. Is Nick going to further distance himself with a beatdown of Eric? Or is Eric actually going to rise up and take out Nick? I know he's been pining for this. He's like, I got to get in the top six. What better than to take out the number one team in the league and who has been for the last couple of weeks and has separated himself by 14 and a half games over Eric or Walker? This is going to get pretty good. But yes, we cannot deny that the one matchup between the two top six teams is Josh in third place and Trippin' Billy's in fifth place, because I can tell you Shane is not really happy about his team's performance these past couple of weeks, and he's ready to get back into more relevancy of the top three rather than the top six. So there you are. There you have it. I think that's all I have going on with baseball, fantasy baseball. 14 and a half games back is one Walker. 16 is Josh. 17 is myself. 20 and a half from number one is Trippin' Billy's. 23 and a half is Eric. So Eric is looking more so at Josh, or excuse me, at Jason and Fernando's matchup, probably more so than his own, because he's only a game and a half back from Fernando. So if Jason can put the beat down on Fernando, not only will Jason rise up, but if Eric can just keep it close. Now, I don't want to throw this out there, but Eric also has 27 moves, 23 moves available. I would be watching out on that streaming. Actually, both him and Nick both have 27 moves. So will they be making moves to better their team or to stream to try to gain as much ground as possible? Be interesting to see. But we all know that it doesn't matter what we do Monday through Saturday. All that seems to matter anymore these days are Sundays, the Lord's Day. And the Lord decides whether or not your team is worth a damn on Sunday. So, that's really it. I want to thank all you guys for watching the first episode of Show Me Something Nukin, the new thing that I've put out with the radio station. I have recently updated or uploaded the extended version on um, the YouTube channel. We got something here. So if you're interested, please reach out to me if you would like to watch it. Please like, rate, review, whatever. I'm trying to, figure something out here to do with the radio station. So I feel like this is a good platform and it gets the uh, high school athletes around here in some not so mentioned sports around the area some more attention. Just finished up today, as a matter of fact. We had to go back because we had a little bit of technical issues, but we went back to Episcopal to hang out with Grace Jones, a very good, and I mean very good. I'm holding up the number one. She is the number one ranked player in Northeast Florida. And I just kind of stumbled upon, like, I just called up Episcopal and asked them if they had some sports going on this summer that I might be able to jump in with. And they're like, check this out. I'm like, all right, I'll be there. So I've got some other things lined up as well. And yeah, this is really fun. I'm really enjoying myself doing it. It's really fun just getting to hang out with these kids. So yeah. So, oh, hi, Ray. I see you. I'm going to say hello to you. There you go. I love the chat. I wish that you guys were able to jump in here. But, anyways, let's see, baseball. Is there anything else we can touch on in baseball? Like the topics. Did anybody see that blunder that Max Muncy did a couple of days ago? It was so funny, man. All right. All right. A couple of things, just small, quick topics. I know, right? Casey, quick. I'm only quick in one thing, and I'll let you guys figure that out for yourselves. All right. So, first thing, what is one thing that you are all taught when you're being taught the game of baseball? Don't look at the fucking ball after you hit it. Okay? All I keep seeing with these major league players nowadays is watching the ball. Stop looking at the ball. Run. Listen to your base coach and what they're telling you to do. There was a game that I was watching a couple of days ago. Eddie Rosario could have easily gotten a triple, but he was too busy watching the ball and where it was. Had he just been running and listening, he could have gotten a triple and put himself in a better position to score in a very tight game that I think they ended up coming back and winning anyways, because it wasn't the game that they just played the Nationals and lost. But still, I believe it was against the Mets as well. And by the way, fuck the Mets. Ha ha ha. How you like that series? Um, but yeah, it's like stop looking at the ball. Hit the ball, run to the bases, and listen. Stop judging whether or not you should put more effort into what you're doing based off of what your eyes tell you. Just listen to the other two paid employees at first and third that's what their job is. They're the ones that are supposed to watch the ball, not you. Hit, run. Anyways, the other one, Max Muncy, watching this Dodger game. There's a guy on second and first. Now, we've all played the game, we've watched the game, we understand the game. So, there's a ball hit to third base, 2 outs, 2 outs, ball hit to third, 2 men one on second, one on first. Why in the world did Max Muncy, who was the acting third baseman, retrieving the ball in field, felt the need to lace one to Freddie Freeman when the runner was in between second and third? The base that Max Muncy had a clear advantage of getting to quicker than the runner, but he deemed it necessary to tattoo a ball that he ends up way overthrowing Freddie Freeman by like a foot and a half. And Freddie Freeman is like 6 foot something or another. He overthrows the dude and therefore causes a run to come in when all you had to do, fat boy, was run over to the one base that's unoccupado to get the third out inning over. Like, who is teaching these players this game? It's like, bloop, oh, easy. I'm going to run over here where it's an out. It's an out all day long. You're out of the inning. You're out of the. It was with Tony Gonsolin on the mound. That's why I was watching the game because I had an intro. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Max? Is all you're able to do is just to hit the meatballs that come your way. The rest, you have a shitty batting average. You're poor defensively. That's why we pay you the money. Obviously, I'm not paying this fucker, but really, like, I would have loved to have been the coach and pulled him aside and been like, now let me ask you this, because you're all about analytics and stuff. What do you analytically think would have been the easier route? A ball traveling from your hand at an X amount of time that has to go this distance to get this base runner out that the runner was almost to first base by the time the ball was even crossing home plate. Whereas the other analytical thing would have been, why wouldn't you have made the 14 feet step or the 6 foot step to third base to get that guy out? All you had to do was go over there. My real and I think he forgot that there was a guy on second and first. And again, it's just it blows my mind. It's like, what are you doing? Get out of the inning, go sit your fat ass down, and you can have your David sunflower seeds or chew your double bubble chewing gum or whatever it is that you do while you wait for your turn to come up to plate so you can either strike out, ground out, or hit a home run. Get the fuck out of the inning. You affected my ratios, you fat bastard. Okay? That's all the baseball talk that you get from me today. I hope that you've enjoyed this 37-minute podcast. Normally, I try to end these here recently at 30 minutes, but I went ahead and went a little bit longer because I let my brain think about some topics. So there you go. Have a great rest of your week. Don't forget, Father's Day is Sunday. Let's see if my kids remember that Father's Day is Sunday. I've got a $5 bet that they didn't do shit for me. $5. I bet I'm going to make that money. Have a good week, everybody, and we'll see you next Monday. Oh, next Monday is Juneteenth, by the way. Day off. See you later. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.